We are live again from the Brojo in another episode of one of my favorite things to do and one of the favorite things we all seem to do every time we're on a fucking podcast, The Tangent. Yes, everybody, it is your supreme leader / dictator of the Rocham Bros podcast, as quoted by the Rye guy, Ryan Freeman over there, Keanu Ibanez, and I'm here today with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Rye Guy here.
God, that guy.
God damn it.
So loud. And I'm also here with...
Jailed Gimp.
Never gets old, that NPR voice right there. So, before we get into some news, do you have any other... Before we get into any of the weird news stories I have, do you guys have any, weird things that have been happening that you've been seeing, any funny memes you guys want to just bring up?
I saw a baby getting punched by a robot.
What? Oh, no, he's... Okay, I know which one he's talking about. So people. There's this video. Did you see? You posted it once. I mean, just
I shared it. Hold on, I'll pull it up really quick. It's this meme that's just people in 1980. I bet we'll have flying cars by 2017. Actual 2017, and it's this robot arm trying to feed this fake baby a bottle, and then it just punches it and knocks it back into the crib that it's in. It's hilarious.
That's amazing.
And that is...
I'll pull it up real quick.
That's
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. And another weird thing that is going on. And, apparently Facebook has this awesome thing called "Let's go to Iowa and steal their corn."
This is amazing.
It is.
Yes.
No, it is a real.
I've liked and been I'll go, quote unquote. It's fantastic.
It is very fantastic, and so they've made a counterculture Facebook group saying, "Let's make sure to catch them trying to steal our goddamn corn." So, if anyone does not know that we are located in the middle of the West, the Midwest Iowa, Northwest Iowa to be exact, yes, we do have an abundance of corn, which is weird. Corn and beans, but we also
for the rest of the world, it's a soybean, but for us, it's a cycle that never ends.
Yes!
That's a commercial that's on the radio here.
Oh,
yes, it is. So that's another thing. We also get confused with Idaho because people thought we had potatoes.
Oh, excuse me, but no.
Yes, people thought we had potatoes.
But we do have an abundance of hoes.
Summer at the lakes, everybody. If you haven't gone to Okoboji in the summer, you should.
If you want to get your dick wet, go to Arnold's Park.
Just jump in the lake.
There we go. Bad dad jokes all around. No, to this week's news, we're talking about the Armageddon, the end of the world. Woo! A little bit of personal news from Keanu Ibanez that has made it actually in Keanu Ibanez's life that actually made it to the Washington Post. A little bit of Twitter again being a big thing that's happening around the world and what is causing for everyone else. And we're gonna just throw a little funny news from ninjas starting shit on fire and yeah, woman took taxi home after robbing a bank. We'll get into more of these news and more. So the first thing, oh yeah, shit gets weird today. You think I'm kidding? Shit gets weird. So the first news story is I don't know if you guys have ever heard this story about me. You guys can see me right now, but a lot of the listeners I feel like they don't understand that we are very ethnically diverse in this group. Mm-hmm. We have
sort of. We have a bunch of white guys, Asians, and then a Mexican.
Like I said, a very diverse group. So, but beforehand, Ryan, you got to admit, when it was just Jay and I, we would have just been known as an Asian podcast.
Yeah, probably.
We would have just been the Asian podcast. That is here. But, story time. Let's go rewind back. It has been a decade because I'm 24, and what happened to me was when I was 14. So, when I was 14, I had no idea I was brown. No. Sorry. Let me explain. I had no idea what racial profiling was. I had no idea that cops would be assholes because you have funny colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had none of that. None of that was ever a big thing for me. No one made jokes. None of that. So there was this feller that I went to high school with. His name was Brent. So Brent was what we call an odd child.
Let's just call him what he is, an asshole.
He's an asshole. he is an asshole. He is an asshole. And people are like, Kian, why are you bringing this guy's name on the radio? It makes sense what I'm going to say next. I'm not going to bring, you know what, I'm not even going to bring Brent's last name up. You can look it up. You can look it up when I bring up the article that we're going to bring.
It made national news.
It made the Washington Post.
Which is pretty much national.
It is pretty much national news. By Washington Post, though, it didn't make it to the Washington Post paper. It made it on their website as an article. But Brent at one time was an attention seeker. This is just again personal story time. Like I'm not going to bring up any of his family. Brent and I were friends when we went to Catholic church camp together and everything like that. But to get on to the real story, Brent was the reason why I got sent to the police station for 2 hours being questioned about whether or not I stabbed Brent. Because Brent's description of his quote-unquote stabbing was, I was stabbed by 2 suspects attacked me, a brown person and a kid with curly hair. My best friend had curly hair at the time. So, me being the only brown kid that is in Spencer High School, for the latter besides being all white and some Laotians, like the Levans. Mm-hmm. Basically, it was me and the Levans. And we had one black foreign exchange student, but he didn't speak English, so I guess he didn't count to be questioned by the police for stabbing. But that is here nor there. So what had happened is that I sat in a police office station for 2 hours, like I said. This was the first time I ever felt, for me, it did keep a, in the back of my head now that I see these, like, people getting shot, like Eric Garner, Fiando Castro, Trayvon Martin, all these people of color being assaulted and shot by police officers and people who thought they were a threat. It has stuck with me whenever I talk about, whenever people bring it up. Yes, I was not beaten by the cops or anything like that, but when I sat there, they didn't believe my story. They didn't believe that I didn't stab this kid, because every question that came afterwards and after I explained it, what I was doing there, are you sure you weren't there? They were basically trying to get me to admit that I stabbed this kid. And for me, that has forever stuck in my mind. And like, I know everyone's like, well, why do you think cops are dangerous? Like, I don't think cops are dangerous. I think cops are literally trained to see racial bias. And you can agree to disagree, and that is 100% fine, listeners of the world. But that's just has been my personal experience with the police office that I have spent with. Now on to the funny shit. So, Brent then admitted that he stabbed himself and was too afraid to admit that he stabbed himself. My
First
friend
of
got
all, I have so many questions.
How did you stab yourself?
It was with a screwdriver.
Why did you stab yourself?
I don't know. Maybe he tripped. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? There's so many stories. I never got a full answer.
First of all, if you're just stabbing yourself to stab yourself and then you're embarrassed about it to tell anybody, first of all, why would you not hide it? Second of all, why would you not make up some other sort of story that doesn't implicate others in the act? Just like, oh, like I fell or something. Do that!
Who knows? I don't know. He's the reason I sat in the police office for 2 hours. Like I said, for the longest time, it didn't really bother me. We both graduated. I didn't see Brent until our friend Chase died, and he came back to the funeral. I was like, I don't want to fucking talk to you, man. Like, nah, fuck you. I wiped my hands of you for so many years. But Brent made national news. And the article goes, campus security guard admits he accidentally shot himself after first lying about black man in hoodie with short afro. Wow, once I read this article, I was like, this feels like deja vu. And let's read on a little bit more. Shoot first and hope no one will ask obvious questions later.
Oh, God.
After 1,800 students were placed in lockdown and 55 police officers, a state patrol helicopter, and 4 K-9 units were brought in to score the area around the Minnesota College Tuesday night, a security guard finally admitted he hadn't been assaulted by an imaginary black man in a hooded sweatshirt.
Oh.
Instead, Brent allegedly told police Wednesday he accidentally shot himself in the shoulder on the campus of St. Catherine University in St. Paul, Minnesota, the Star-Tribune reports, with a gun he wasn't even allowed to have. While they still needed to take a report of shooting seriously, St. Paul police were skeptical about the white 25-year-old's initial claim about an assailant who was armed and dangerous with a short afro, that they didn't even release a description of a made-up minority. I think earlier in some of the facts of this case weren't adding up for us, said the St. Paul Police Sergeant Mike Ernster at the press conference. He didn't have the confidence in the description to act on it. Nonetheless, the lockdown brought about by Brent's false story made locals fear their safety, said Ernster. It had residents of the McLaughlin and Highland Park communities fearful of suspect was on the loose and they could be victimized at any moment. Meanwhile, leadership at the local NAACP has been vocal about the security guard's choice of specifically describe the suspect as a black man. That's what black people live with, says St. Paul NAACP President Diane Binns told the Star-Tribune. We've been lynched, we've been put in jail to find out later that we haven't done it. That's the sad thing about it. It hasn't stopped. He reportedly said he was merely worried he would lose his job because the college doesn't arm its guards. So, he's been charged with falsely reporting a crime, a misdemeanor, and was released by the Ramsey County Jail Thursday morning. St. Catherine's President Rebecca Roloff put out this word: strongly condemns racial discrimination, racial stereotyping, and racial profiling of any kind. Funny story. He had worked at the St. Catherine University for 15 months, so this is probably the first time he brought a gun here, and this is what gets me. This is the problem with when we talk about the racial divide. Mm-hmm. All right, I don't want to put anyone on a hot seat, and that's not what I'm here for. But it is very, very just open up about how racial tensions work. Is that like the first thing the dude thinks of is a black man shot him. You know what I mean? Like some thug dude in a hoodie shot him with a short afro, and it makes me mad. This doesn't even make me mad that he's done it again. That he did it. This is the second time he's called a set of minority injured him. And anyway, that is not what makes me mad. I mean, what makes me mad is this is a fucking misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when
when you spend all that time, when you like,
he should at least pay back the fucking helicopter, like, K-9, the troops.
I always thought that what the fuck is that called? Like, falsely making a case is like a felony, is what I always thought, but I guess I was wrong.
No. Forcibly reporting crime is a misdemeanor. But my thing about this is, it's not even that I care that it was a misdemeanor. That's not what I care about. What had happened is that 4 or 5 black teens in early 20s were stopped and frisked because of this scenario. Okay? And how do you think they would feel? How do you know? And the NAACP president makes a point. Mm-hmm. They have been jailed for wrongly accusing because they're black, and that's my problem with this. That is my problem with what he did. I'm taking away my personal bias and my dislike for the person because I personally know him. I'm looking at it as a person who wants to try to work better at making strides in a racial divide. That, you know, he's the reason, in my opinion, when I look at it, he's the reason. He's the type of people that the people we talked about the NFL that are, you know, kneeling because they are being misrepresented. Like, that there are, of course, there are African Americans who are thugs. There are, there are the riots that shouldn't happen. There are all of that. But for me in this scenario, he's a piece of shit to me, because what he did was he not only made himself a fucking moron, he put the fear around these neighborhoods that there's some, oh man, there could be a black teen walking around. There could be some minorities walking around thinking like nothing of it, and this is why people are threatened. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know how you feel, Ryan, like being vanilla.
Goddamn vanillas.
No, it is.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's not even. I'm not even throwing it all. I'm not throwing all of the whiteness on you, man. Like, I'm just saying, like.
I mean, while I am, like, I don't even know what the fuck I'd consider myself politically at this point.
You are vanilla.
I'm sort of like a mix between liberal conservative, leaning towards conservative, but I'm one of the few I guess conservative people, since liberals normally don't like to associate my name with them because of my conservative viewpoints that I have on some stances. But at the same time, conservatives probably don't want to associate myself with them either, because I do acknowledge that there is a racial divide in the country, and that blacks do get misrepresented. So that's my feeling on it, is that I do think that there's a racial problem in America, and that I do think that blacks get a bad rep.
Right. And so...
And I think that this is just another one of those white kids where the rest of us white kids have to just stand off to the side and just be like, yeah, please don't associate all of us with him, because we're all not like that.
I think that's the same for, like, any... Well, nothing, but that is the same for any race, for that, like, that thing, like, one person of your race does that, and you get that negative stigma.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah,
there's plenty in every race.
If I met you during Virginia Tech, I totally wouldn't want to be your friend, Jay.
Oh shit! Throwback.
There's plenty of people in all races that they want to disassociate themselves with.
Right.
And for white people, he's one of those. I don't think that.
And this is not like this again. I'm not here to shit on Brent. Like,
I'm here to shit on him because the dude's a fucking ass.
He sounds like a...
Well, but that's the thing. Like
if you fuck up, you own up to it. You do
right,
not falsificate.
Don't be a pussy and just say, "Yeah, not mine."
Right.
And on top of that, like, I've been to the St. Paul area. I've been to Minneapolis. My brother Tyler used to live in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. There are gang problems in Minneapolis. You don't really hear about it because when you think Minnesota, you don't really think gangs.
Oh no, there are heavily gang problems. I got mugged up there.
Yeah,
so.
but there are a lot of gang problems up there. So, giving that sort of description is gonna put a lot of people on alert, and you're doing it for no reason. So.
I look back at the Philandro Castro thing that happened in Minnesota last year, where the girlfriend alive fed the whole her boyfriend got shot, and he didn't do anything. He had a conceal and carry, but he was licensed to have a conceal and carry, but they still shot him. That's what I mean. Like, I look at it like this. I'm glad no one got hurt. Like, an innocent teen got hurt. But like, when you look at it like that, you really do put another person's life in your hand.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, what's just fucked up about this story.
Very much so.
Well, I mean, when you're accusing somebody, like, even, like, making somebody up that shot you, and you give that blanket of a description where it's not even that descriptive, it's, like, you're then saying that there's somebody out there that is armed and dangerous, basically giving the cops to go ahead and draw weapons if they feel threatened. Because that is what happens in a situation where somebody's armed and dangerous. The cops defend themselves and take proper precautions. So thank God nobody got hurt. But he was totally setting up for somebody to get hurt, which is my entire problem with this.
Right, and that to me is, we have just one more other heavy story that I think we should probably is getting into it, and we will talk about it. But what I wanted to talk about is the Jamel Hill Twitter fiasco with Donald Trump. So, Ryan and I know you and I have talked about how we feel. If you do it on your free time, you shouldn't, like how the white supremacists who got fired on their free time going to the rally of the Confederate flag, some of them lost their jobs. I don't think that's fair. Just letting everyone know. Mm-hmm. You're still an asshole, but I still think it's not fair you lost your job. But the thing about this is it's the Jamel Hill on Twitter. So Jamel Hill has a problem with our president, Donald Trump. And here are some of here's some of her tweets, and here's where I'm going to play devil's advocate, and here's where I'm also going to play my opinion on this. Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. Trump is the most, and these were from September. Trump is the most ignorant, offensive presidency of my lifetime. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. He is unqualified and unfit to be president. He is not a leader, and if he were not white, he never would have been elected.
Jesus Christ.
Well, with that in mind, I also want to point out what Donald wrote. ESPN is paying a really big price for its politics and bad programming. People are dumping it in record numbers. Apologize for the untruth. So, I don't know how you feel about this. I want to point this out. Did you notice that, like, usually when the Don tweets about something, he tweets at that person. Mm-hmm. He's not tweeting at Jamel Hill. He's tweeting at ESPN. Yeah. So you see what's happening, because if he tweets at Jamel Hill, he's openly opening himself up to,
He's smart move on his part.
Not even that, but he's not even disregarding that he's not a white supremacist. That's where I'm getting at here.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? And this is the interesting thing.
He said take back the untruth, didn't he? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that him being a white supremacist falls into that.
Right, but you would think, but he's attacked other numerous celebrities.
He has.
Numerous celebrities for saying this. And they've had TV shows. But he's not going after Jamel Hill. And my thing about Jamel Hill is that, like, she's entitled to her own opinion. She also really said, my comments on Twitter expressed my personal beliefs. My regret is that my comments in the public way, I made them painted ESPN in an unfair light. My respect for the company and my colleagues remains unconditional. This is what I mean. She's not on her own. She's on her personal Twitter. Mm-hmm. Just like how at the time, I'm finally setting up our Twitters, but you can have your personal Twitter, and then you can have, the company Twitter that we're about to make. If she was posting on the Jamel Hill ESPN, oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude, fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck that. She's posting on her own personal time, and to me that is, and she's a great. I don't know if you watched her ESPN thing, but she's a great sportscaster. She knows her shit, and she's on it. My thing about this is, this isn't the first celebrity though that had this, that people wanted to take her down. There was a little joke Anthony Bourdain made. He's like, someone on TMZ was like, hey, do you think that you should, if you could feed a meal with Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump, what would it be? And he said some kind of rare poison. And everyone's like, Anthony Bourdain should lose his show on CNN and all this shit. Like, fuck that guy. Fuck him. But let's not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I also want to take this moment. Nobody ever asked Donald Trump and NBC to apologize for what Donald Trump fucking said during Obama's presidency. I want to just take a moment and say that. Because he's a higher tier celebrity than Jamel Hill is. Mm. And he was saying, like, you remember that, the birther movement? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He never apologized for it.
I remember that, yeah.
And here he is, and when he's mad, he will just tweet, not even, he's like, ratings are bad at ESPN. No, they're not.
To be fair, ESPN's ratings have gone down.
You know what I mean, though?
But, I mean,
I mean, it's ESPN.
Disregarding that, I mean, here's the wonderful thing about America. You can say what you want about the government. Like, you're completely free to. You can criticize it openly, and you will have no repercussions for it. It's the great thing about America.
Right.
So when you start invading on that, you're starting to infringe on people's rights.
Right.
Yes.
So that's a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's me. That's me, and you know what I mean.
And while I disagree with some of the criticisms, like, I don't think that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. I mean, is his rise correlated with the rise of white supremacists? I don't know. It could just be tension that's been boiling for a while now. I mean, we saw white supremacists do shit while Obama was in office, so it might not just be correlated to him. It could be that they're all just a bunch of jackasses.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you can't. Okay, so.
But I mean, she has every right to say these things.
But
so.
you like with that in mind. But you can't tell me that during his presidency, there was a higher portion of people who weren't afraid to either drop the N-bomb or fucking, you know.
I think it's one of those things where it's skewed, where you see the smallest group of people are the loudest. I think that's one of those things. Because if you look at it, statistically, not a whole lot of people that are quote-unquote white supremacists voted for Donald Trump. There was a lot of Obama supporters that voted for Trump, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a case of one of the smaller minorities is being one of the more vocal ones, and so they're what's getting attention, and it's getting blown out of proportion. Because white supremacists are a small minority in the U.S. I don't think a lot of people have that type of thinking anymore.
I would hope not.
Yeah. So.
I would hope not.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those things where it's a small group of people that are being very vocal, so they're getting a lot of attention.
I understand where you're coming from, and I'm not gonna argue that. I'm just making that point. Like he wants her to apologize and shit like that, but yet during 08 through 2012, where the fuck was his apology? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, where the fuck was his apology for the shit he said? You know, like, he wants to be like, well, they're making fun of me, they're talking shit about me.
Yeah, and that just goes to show how thin-skinned that Donald Trump is, and like, I'm sorry, but people have every right to criticize you however they want.
Yes.
You can't do anything about that. It's their right to do that. It's part of freedom of speech.
That's a great thing about it. Do what you want for free speech.
Right. And so, and I mean, my goal on this was not like saying Donald Trump's a white supremacist. My goal on this was the hypocrisy that the man has about this.
No, he's obviously a hypocrite.
Yes.
I mean, that's well established. I'm by no means a Trump supporter.
Right.
When I went to vote this last election cycle, I voted for, I can't even remember his fucking name. He was one of the independent runners.
You voted for
Gary Johnson.
Yeah, Gary Johnson.
Piece of
I
shit.
was just like, yeah, give me some weed, man.
God damn you! You're the problem.
At least you didn't vote for Hennessy, so that's good.
No, like,
I totally would have voted for Hennessy, dude. My life, our presidential office would have been lit.
I'm not part of the problem. Everybody else was part of the problem, electing Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump as the nominations.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm making a joke. I totally wasn't attacking you. Don't believe I am.
No.
I know mayonnaise are spicy for you, Ryan. Your hair's flipping down again. Like
My God.
Nah, and just in general, man. Like the whole well, last week we talked about Alex Jones. I want to point this out though. I know you bring that up, but we talk about Alex Jones last week, and he has millions of followers that do follow in the United States, and that they did help with the push for Donald Trump's presidency. And Alex Jones is that guy who believed that the Sandy Hook thing was a lie, and caused thousands of people to send letters to the families and all that. And that's the reason I wanted to point that out. That like I understand that there's also a small minority of white supremacists, but there's also millions of crazy people out here for conspiracy theories.
There is millions of people that are crazy, but I mean at the same time, you're not in charge of everybody that supports you.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
Whether they support you, it's not your fault if they support you. It's just that they happen to support you. Like you can't really do anything about that.
You could not run.
But why would you not run?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's tons of fucking crazy people on the left that supported Hillary.
That's
so
true.
I mean,
And I'm not you know, and I get that. The last semi-political thing I wanted to bring up is Kid Rock's announcement speech.
fuck this guy.
God damn it.
It's gonna be Kid Rock versus Kanye for the presidential election.
Oh,
Alrighty,
shit.
you ready for
2020.
this? This is Kid Rock's first campaign speech. Oh, what? No,
Oh, we're actually gonna listen to it.
we have to listen to. We're listening to a tidbit of it.
I just saw this pop up on my Facebook
Yeah.
feed one day, and I was like, I'm not listening to this garbage.
Well, the redistribution of wealth seems more like their plan. And I don't believe that you should save, sacrifice, do things by the book, and then have to take care of some deadbeat milk in the system, lazy ass motherfucking man. The issue of struggling single parents is an issue close to my heart. But read my lips. We should not reward these women who can't even take care of themselves, but keep having kid after fucking kid. Of course, we should help them out. I want to sit here and sound like a jerk. But let's help them out with child care, job training, and put the goddamn asses to work.
This guy has a cup of lean, while like he's having his beer like up here, like just going like woo.
Raise your sons up to be good men. You got them glorifiers and gangster wannabes. I say lock all you assholes up and throw away the fucking keys. And if you want to take a knee or sit during our Star-Spangled Banner, call me a racist because I'm not PC and think you have to remind me that Black Lives Matter. Nazis fucking bigots, and now again the KKK says screw all you assholes, stay the fuck away. It's no secret we're divided, and we all should take some blame. We should be ashamed that we all seem scared to call him by his name.
What? What the fuck does that mean?
Almighty Jesus, with your wisdom, and give us strength to fight the tyrant evils that lurk here and abroad, and remind us all we are still just one nation under God. Now let's get down to brass tacks before I hit you with this phone. Like it or not, Hillary Clinton lost, and your president is Donald motherfucking Trump. And Kid Rock, you said, has got folks in disarray. Whether they hear Kid Rock for president of the USA.
Yep, that was it.
There's times that I don't want to live in America, and this is one of them.
What are you talking about? He has my vote. Like,
No.
he has my vote.
No.
Do you know whose vote he might have though?
Who?
He might have Josh's.
Oh no. What? Oh no.
This campaign speech, and this was his legit first campaign speech. This is where I've gone to it. This is for me the fucking edge of my mind how politics work now. We have reached Idiocracy. That movie that was supposed to be a movie where like celebrities became president because of an election, and like it was like, haha, this is a funny joke, that'll never happen. It actually happened. But for me, I don't think he really understands the American dream like he thinks he does.
This is my problem with the campaign speech. Is all I'm gathering from this is he's just one of those typical people that has been told a political viewpoint so much that he starts to believe it, and now he's just throwing out regurgitated information that he's received and doesn't actually know what the fuck he's talking about or understand what he's talking about, but he thinks he does because he's heard it so goddamn much.
He is the guy who says fuck Colin Kaepernick in all of his concerts. I'm just,
Well, one of my main problems is like, he says like Jesus and God. I'm like America's like a nation of many creeds and religions and faiths. You know, it's like just not with Christ. We prominent religions like Judaism, and then there's like Islam, and there's other ones like Hinduism, etc., etc. You know, it's just like that. There is like no, that's not the American way.
I mean, I can understand why people say that because the Constitution was written with Christian morals in mind, so that's where they're.
Actually, that's a lie. It was not. Thomas Jefferson had his own view. Alexander Hamilton was an atheist. So was Benjamin Franklin. Under God was a pretext that was put in. They weren't all Christian, Ryan.
No, they weren't all Christian.
But there was. I don't think there was a context. That's why freedom of religion existed. There was no context that it was just about one Christian faith. They're technically the freedom of religion clause was that proof that there was
no, I'm not even. No, I don't want to start this because.
Oh jeez.
That's fine.
No, I don't even want to get into this with you because we have very differing viewpoints.
No, you're good.
I want to fucking throw something at you.
I'm not gonna argue with. I wasn't even gonna argue with you. I was just pointing out that freedom of religion was the reason why that clause existed.
No, I've heard that viewpoint brought up and it's false.
Oh no, that's very understandable. I get you.
But I brought upon this party.
It's fine. It's fine. Fuck you, Jay. It's fine. You're good.
This is why I don't talk politics because I'm very easily frustrated.
It's like I said. I'm not here to argue with you. We both have two different beliefs, and we've had this conversation numerous times. Obviously we're not here to argue. We're friends.
Yeah.
We have friends with different beliefs. And usually I would say something like super smart ass, but because I'm your friend, I'm not going to. I'm going to go walk by it and let's talk about people dressed as ninjas started fires in buildings.
What a segue!
Yes!
Great segue.
It was. It's the best segue I got, man.
What the fuck is ninjas?
Yeah, come here. They dressed as ninjas. This is the picture that they have of these guys. Dressing as ninjas.
What?
Yeah. Let's read.
And what happened?
Police say two people dressed as ninjas broke into a New Jersey apartment building and set several fires. Newark police officials say the unidentified man and woman broke in through the second-floor apartment. That there is a video showing the two exiting through the side entrance and running off downhill. Resident Melissa I'm not even saying something New Jersey says the alarm loudly alerted everyone to the fire and many people evacuated. Police say their building sprinkler systems quickly doused the flames. No one was injured. So, y'all got ninjas in New Jersey. Didn't even think that was a real thing. But, yes, people. I gotta say is they got away with it. They are true ninjas. They strike hard and fade into the night.
Fucking taught by Master Splinter, I guess.
Yeah, yo, this is and there's no they have no alibi for reasoning why they wanted to burn this certain apartment down. So it's just
So they just randomly burned an apartment complex down?
Yeah, I guess. They were dressed as ninjas and they burned the place down.
Why?
Well, America.
What the fuck is going on these days?
America.
Everybody's going crazy.
Right. So, police. Woman took taxi home after robbing a bank. A Mississippi woman accused of robbing a bank and fleeing in a taxi has been arrested. News outlets report 35-year-old Dominic R. Spears was arrested at her apartment after a yellow cab driver told police she picked her up at the Wells Fargo Bank on Tuesday. Ocean Springs Police Captain William Jackson says robbery was reported at 10:50 a.m. Responding to the officers received information that the suspects had left the scene in a taxi cab. So, again, the fuck is wrong with people?
Well,
it baffles me, man. I don't know if it baffles you, it baffles me. baffles me that people.
I mean, a taxi is the only form of transportation I would take after robbing a bank.
Oh, you know.
You never heard about the Fostoria bank robbery in the 70s, did you?
What?
They robbed the bank on a bike and left and got $1,000 of money and were never found.
That's amazing.
Yeah, in Fostoria. I mean, obviously it was Fostoria, the
Right,
podunk town, but
that's still
a
fucking
lot
hilarious.
of money was taken from them.
Oh, that's great.
Ching ching.
So we have
That way you have tons of chip money for the driver.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go, motherfucker.
Yeah, he stole. It was on a bicycle. He was on a 10-speed Huffy. The guy in Fostoria. We have a cute little adorable video here of a nun learning how to use a chainsaw, googling how to use a chainsaw.
What?
Yeah.
On Monday morning, I went over and I saw how bad the road was. I came back to the school, got the chainsaw, and I actually had to Google it to find out how to start it because I forgot how to start it. So, the students have told me everything's online. Sister, just ask the question online. People are driving by and saying, "Thank you, sister, thank you." And I think it's been really, really good.
That's America, man.
That's pretty dope.
America.
Yeah, I guess. I just don't know, man.
Yeah.
And so let's get into some real weird news. This is the first one that I think is really funny. Someone was literally flushing heaps of money down a Swiss toilet.
What?
Yeah, someone was flushing down money down a Swiss toilet. Swiss authorities are investigating a report that someone flushed tens of thousands of euros down the toilet of a bank and several restaurants in Geneva, clogging their pipes. Why can't America do shit like this?
Nice.
Why can't I just be like, what if I pull my faucet down and, money? What? I know what I'm going to do with this.
God. Become a plumber?
I guess.
I guess if you don't trust banks, then...
There you go.
All right, guys. I want to let everyone know. I want everyone to know this. We will still be recording all the Robro stuff on Saturday. Even though Christian researcher claims the rapture starts on Saturday. There's even a video. There's a video, a 4-minute video.
So the end of the world is starting this Saturday.
Yes.
It's all because of, there was these numbers.
A great sign appeared in heaven, and a woman clothed... Watch this video. This video is fucking crazy. With the moon under her feet. And a crown of 12 stars on her head.
What the fuck is going on?
It's like some Game of Thrones shit. She was pregnant and cried out in pain. And as she was about to give birth.
What the hell?
Another sign appeared in heaven. And an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its head. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth.
Okay, yeah, he's literally just talking about Revelations.
Well, he's a new.
If anybody has ever read Revelations, it's crazy as shit. You should do it stoned. It's amazing.
But the guy, he's all these numbers, first one was signs, first one with the hurricanes and earthquakes, and then from the eclipse that happened X amount of days ago, leading up to the aligning of the planets.
It's right here. It's right here. Jesus lived for 33 years. The name Elohim, which means God to the Jews, was mentioned 33 times in the Bible. Mead told the newspaper. It's a very biblical, significant, numerology significant number. I'm taking astronomy, and I'm talking the Bible, and merging the two. Mead believes the global catastrophes will be caused by a secret planet called Nibiru, passing the Earth on Saturday. The world won't end, but the world as we know it isn't ending, he told the Post. NASA, and just about every other astronomer, said Nibiru doesn't exist. I'm not gonna lie. If the world ends, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I don't want to burst this guy's bubble, but being somebody that has actually read the Bible, it says in there that no man will know when the end of the world is going to happen.
Exactly, yes. So it's a
So
counter argument saying that, like,
if he
we're
is
given-
going off of the Bible, he's wrong because he doesn't know when it's gonna happen.
There's also a counter argument of where, like, we're given prophecy, thus that's how we know, which is stupid, I think.
It's a dumb counter argument.
I
You
just
can't take signs of nature, things that happen regularly, just because that's how things work in this fucking universe, as a sign of the end of the world.
shit. Fuck.
Sounds like Toy Story up in this bitch.
It was not Toy Story.
No.
Man, if it is the end of the world, I should probably just ask Katie out on that date
Not
then.
the end of the world.
That should just-
That breaks your contract, man.
But if we die, it doesn't matter if I break that
Wow,
contract.
man, what if she
Shit, I'm
listens
gonna rob
to
a
this?
bank then.
I don't think Katie listens to this.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty positive she doesn't.
Want to rob a bank?
No, I don't want to rob a
Right.
bank. Yeah, no, just do
On
we need a
bikes.
taxi drive? Yeah, on bikes. We get a taxi cab driver to drop off our bikes.
Yes.
So no, like, man, what I mean by this, and it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy to
It
me.
is crazy.
But this isn't the first time people have thought about,
Dude,
like,
people have
the end of the
predicted the
world.
end of the world so many times.
Y2K.
I'm so desensitized to the whole thing
Yep.
by now.
The fuck are you drawing?
Nothing.
Oh, but no, I just,
Oh my god.
but like, it baffles me. There's this one guy who spent his entire life savings making thousands of dollars worth of pamphlets telling him the world's gonna end at 6 p.m. in New York, and he stood there till 6:30 and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The thing that's insane about doomsday people is that there are some people who literally euthanize their pets,
looks like Fluffy's not coming
thinking
back.
it's the end of the world.
Fucking
It-
crazy.
Fucking crazy.
Easy to find.
Oh shit! Stop. It just is fucking crazy.
People need to stop predicting the end of the world. Like,
Well, like, remember back when the whole 2012 was going to happen? And
Yeah.
El Caboche, there was that board that had, like, end the world coming, and then, like, the next day... it's gonna
well, the whole
happen.
2012 thing was stupid anyways,
was.
because everybody was like, the Mayan calendar ends, and then I was just like, yeah, the Mayan calendar resets.
Yes, yeah, it's just a restarting cycle.
You know, it's people. If you are a doomsday prepper and listening to our channel, you can unsubscribe. I can't get behind this. So, you know how the Nobel Prize works, don't you?
No, I don't.
Of course you know, because you're a dumb pretty boy who hates mayonnaise. I get it. Liquid cuts, crocodile bets,
Are
and
you implying that I'm a white racist?
no.
When you hate mayonnaise,
No, I love mayonnaise.
you're disgusting.
I actually don't. I fucking hate
Hey,
mayonnaise.
me too.
It's
Miracle
gross.
Whip all the way.
Mayonnaise is gross as shit.
Liquid cats, crocodile bets, and didgeridoos win IG Nobel Science Prizes. Now, scientists taking on deep questions of whether cats are liquid or solid, how holding a crocodile influences gambling, and whether playing the didgeridoo can help cure snoring were honored Thursday night at the IG Nobel Prize Spoof Awards. The prizes are brainchilds of Mark Abrams, editor of the Annals of Improbable Research, and are intended to not to honor the best or worst in science, but rather to highlight research that encourages people to think in unusual ways. Alright, so this is basically dipshit science to me. Like,
Well, we're talking about a didgeridoo here. I mean, come on.
right. No, it's like, can a cat be both solid and liquid? Was inspired by the
What?
internet photos of cats tucked into glasses, buckets, and sinks. And the winner of the IG Nobel in Physics was used in mathematical formulas to conclude that the active young cats and kittens hold their physical shape longer than old, lazier felines. So, no. See, I can't get this. Like, straight up, no offense, Ryan. No offense. I see no black scientists here. This is some white people shit. This
White
is-
people do some weird
This
shit.
is
all right?
certified white people shit.
No, I understand. White people do weird crap. Like,
Economics winner Matthew Rockcliffe and Nancy Greer conducted an experiment in which problem gamblers and non-problem gamblers handled a 1 meter, a 3 foot long crocodile before playing a simulated slot machine.
yeah, that's something white people.
This
would
is
do.
some white people shit. Like, I'm sorry. And in 2012, conducted 103 people in Queensland Australia found that problem gamblers were likely to place higher bets after handling reptiles, as their brains had misinterpreted the excitement of holding a dangerous animal as a sign they were on a lucky streak.
What?
Yeah. White people shit. This award is, they wouldn't even allow Jay to be in here. Like Jay's super
shit.
white, but he's not white enough for this shit. Like Jay could be like, I'm a paleontology major, and I think dinosaurs could snore just like didgeridoos. They'd be like,
damn
you're
it.
too Korean, you can't be here.
No.
A multinational team of 6 researchers won the Peace Prize for 2005 paper Didgeridoo playing as an alternative treatment for obstructive sleep apnea syndrome. Randomized controlled trial. Again, white people shit. I can't fathom it. Ryan, we need to get you on this shit. We'll make you a fake PhD, and you gotta think of...
Dude, I'm white, but I'm not that white.
You gotta just think of it like, why mayonnaise are too spicy? We're gonna use that. That'll be our Nobel Peace Prize.
I don't think I'm white enough.
I don't know. White trash Jesus says
I'm
otherwise.
pretty fucking white, but I'm not that white.
It could work.
This is a different type of white, Jay. Like, I'm like party white. These guys are like nerdy white. Like,
Oh.
It's an all-inclusive club that Jay's not a part of. He's a part of every other nerdy club I can think of.
Damn you, white
If
people.
Spencer had a math league, Jay would be like, "Oh, I'm in."
I hate math. Fuck that.
They'd just be an honorary member. He'd just keep getting emails. They're like, "You're Korean, you count."
You're Asian. We're just assuming you're good at this shit.
God damn
it.
Jay's like, I just got invited to chess club. Is your virginity still there? Shh.
Jail and camp in the hunt for his virginity.
No. So the only girl that I know Jay has talked to, that I've seen pictures of, she's got yellow fever.
What? Oh, yeah, you were talking about that.
Every
Yeah.
guy she is with, yellow fever.
Yeah. I mean, there are chicks that like that.
It just so happened, like, I tagged one of you guys in the post, and she liked it once, and I looked, and I was like, I wonder what she's doing now. I was like, yellow fever.
God
Like, I thought Jay was
damn it.
just like saying like, yo, she's really into Asian dudes. I'm like, or maybe she was just into you because you're a cool person. And then I like see her picture with her new boyfriend. I'm like,
She's totally into Asian dudes.
totally into Asian dudes. But there's a certain type of Asian dude, Korean Carlton.
I'm gonna slowly sink into this couch.
Actually, Jay's the Korean Michael Cera in my mind.
Yeah, that's a closer
There's
representation
a
of
close
Jay.
resemblance to Jay.
Shit.
If Korean Michael Cera existed, Jay's like if the Virginia Tech shooter and Michael Cera fused together and there was no murderous tendencies.
Jesus.
Oh shit.
Oh, man.
Max looks like see if I were to like combine people, Max looks like John Oliver mixed with Jesse Eisenberg from Batman vs Superman. Yeah. Do you not see it?
No.
No, I don't.
Do you not see the John Oliver in
No,
Max?
I don't see
I see the John Oliver in Max.
Max isn't British enough.
I know, but I see the John Oliver. In
They have
Max.
two different face shapes.
They do.
Like, you're like if Brendan Urie fucked a witch.
Why a witch?
Got that?
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, the nose.
Maybe it was fucking, what's her face from Soul Eater?
No, it was not Blair, because she doesn't have that weird nose.
Blair's definitely my mom.
No, she's not.
Does she have cat ears too?
Confirmed, Blair's
No.
my mom.
I mean, y'all can just throw fucking like savage shit on me about how I look. It's fine. Like, I mean, this is about how good of friends we are.
You know where I sleep?
I ain't mad. Like I said, I just called you Virginia Tech Michael Cera. I feel like I deserve some shit.
You're like Korean Majin Buu.
I can deal with and I can deal with that. Like, I love Dragon Ball Z. I'm not Korean, but I love Dragon Ball Z.
You're island
That's
Majin
fine.
Buu.
That's fine. That's fine.
Shit.
I've been told I look like a fatter Maui.
Yeah, I think There was last podcast we had when you left when they were filming Dem Game Boys before they actually started recording. I looked at everybody and I was like, whenever I see Kian, it just makes me think of Moana. Grow out your hair, curl it, Maui.
I could do it. There's been some times I've been tempted to grow my hair out like Maui, like for real. Like I don't know, like I
don't think it'd look good with that widow's peak you got going.
See, exactly. So that's why I gotta get and that's why I don't ever really. Either my hair is super short. My hair is usually super short, but I've been lazy lately.
That widow peak, like who the fuck's the name of that actor? Lego Batman.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett. There we go. Yeah.
Yes. BoJack Horseman. Okay.
Asian Will Arnett.
Okay, so then
both got that widow's peak shit going on.
Who would John be like?
Who would John be?
Who would John be?
Fuck, man, I don't know.
Who's someone weird?
Methed out James Franco, I guess.
He'd be that weird guy from Zack and Miri make a porno.
Jason Mewes, was that Jason Mewes?
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, that was Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zach would obviously be Fat Jay.
No, he's Jay. Yeah, he's Jay.
Zach is Fat Jay.
No, Zach is Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
And John is Jay.
Wait, what does that make Gil?
A fucking asshole.
He's just there.
Well, you know, like Gil, I don't know. Gil actually.
Noop Noop?
Gil could be Noob Noob, but.
What the fuck is Noop Noop?
Exactly.
That was from the Vindicators episode.
What?
Noob Noob.
Noob Noob?
The one who's like, has to clean up Rick's shit.
Literally has to clean up.
Oh, yeah, Noob Noob. Okay,
yeah, no one remembers Noob Noob.
Yep.
So, actually, that's really hard. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, I don't know if Gil would even, like, make a Mexican actor. Like,
No, he made that Mexican friend from Ant-Man.
Antonio Banderas.
Hit by a truck, I guess.
Antonio Banderas in his 70s.
Feels like, hey, I look like a
Eli would be every. Actually, I honestly think
Eli is every white supremacist ever.
I was gonna say Eli is like every like extra on the TV show Vikings.
Okay, I can see that too.
But I like that one a lot more.
That went somewhere.
It looks like Eli walks out of his trailer in the morning and just feels like, well, time to hate today.
His black neighbor waves at him. He's like, all right, I know how affirmative action will work.
I'm sorry, Eli, but that was a really good joke.
Just have one more cute, adorable story. We've gone through politics. We've gone through ninjas burning people's houses. Oh, I know what Zach is. I'm secretly a Juggalo, but no, I don't want to tell anyone because I know I'll be judged.
There was that rally in D.C. not that long ago, too. It's a time to be alive.
I say that, but we know like a shit ton of Juggalos, and it bothers the fuck out of me.
Juggalos are actually very prevalent in Iowa.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
It's weird. One of our friends, Dakota, was a Juggalo for a while.
What?
Yeah, he was like friends with Juggalos.
It's pretty dope.
No, it's.
I don't know. What do you say about this? Like,
Do you know what Juggalos are, Jay?
clown people
Okay, kind of.
that listen to rap? I don't know.
Okay, before people judge Jay about knowing what not a Juggalo is, Jay didn't know what holding tapioca meant for the longest time because he thought it was actually having pudding in your hand. So, just pointing it out there, Jay does not understand terms of endearment and or other things besides that. No, a Juggalo. They predominantly listen to ICP and they get like Hatchet Man tattooed on them.
Yeah.
What?
And they
And then they wear clown face paint.
and they say whoop whoop.
And they also say, "What is a juggalo?"
I've heard that song.
There is also a specific dating preference on OkCupid where you can just predominantly date juggalos.
No, there is not.
No, there is.
There is.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the
Hold
fuck?
on. I'm looking it up. The Juggalos of OkCupid Tumblr will haunt your dreams.
What?
Juggalos on OkCupid. So, since we're on here, we are going to look at this. Look at this.
What the fuck?
Look at this.
I can't believe this is a thing. Oh my god.
What, you, me, I a Juggalo? Well, that's incriminating. I suck at spelling. The most private thing I'm willing to admit. Greetings, ladies. And working at McDonald's and was recently
That's a
promoted to
man?
head- Yeah.
What?
So I have some good things going for me right now. Also, I caught all 151 original Pokemon.
Oh my.
I'm way into zoo play. Midgets, lesbian midgets, tiny lesbian midgets having sex with obese women, very hairy men.
Dude, I can't do this.
Nope. Let's stop now.
No. I've had acne for
That
years
can't
now,
be.
so I have scars from that on my face, but I'm mainly my shoulders and back. Don't like it? Get the fuck out.
This isn't a thing. This
Yeah.
can't be a thing.
Oh, hello.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I literally hate everything.
I'm amazing when it comes to sex.
This guy. Oh my god.
Oh, I paint my face every holiday. Deal with it. Whoop whoop, Juggalo family.
Oh, that's
no.
horrible. Why?
Come on, dude. Look at this one.
I don't want to.
If you want to chat, I would be awesome if someone could respond. Had a girl, which I had a couple of years back, who never loved me because she never told me why she left me. But yeah.
Why she left?
Probably left you because you're a fucking juggalo.
Oh my god, this dude! You have to see this guy.
Were ICP even ever like?
This
Cool.
guy's amazing.
What the
What am I doing in life? I'm all about making money and getting my music up to the top. He is the final boss of SoundCloud rappers.
Oh no.
Oh, this guy's a juggalo with a Naruto fan.
Why is this thing?
My self-summary, I'm a juggalo who met the wrong chick and got my heart broken. I really would like to have someone to cuddle with. Think about serial killers, and I wish I could ask them a question. I'm crazy, unique, and innocent. I try not to follow trends. She's taken 24. How well do you know the Disturbed lyrics test, serial killer profiling test, the do you give a good head test?
Why is this real?
Oh god, I found my new Tumblr page to follow.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't believe me that there was a
No. When you said that, I was just like, this has to be bullshit. There's no
No.
way. Like,
No.
Why does it
I thought you were
do this?
fucking with me.
No. Why would I be messing with you?
Because it'd be a very hilarious.
Like,
joke.
what the fuck?
Ah, y'all didn't believe me, but Juggalos have it on lock. But they're also using OkCupid, so.
Yeah, like why? There has to be like a Juggalo website out there.
Hold on.
Juggalos only.
Hold on. I'm googling it. Juggalo dating site.
Juggalos for jugs.
Let's see. Okay, this was for Funny or Die 2 years ago. Come over and watch this video, Ryan.
But when you're answering those questions, you're thinking about what kind of juggalo you really are.
On the other dating websites, it's just, I'd be sitting there looking through 1,000 photos, just trying to find someone lighting an animal.
Get him with the little baby face swagger.
When I got the results back, I was amazed at how accurate it was.
When two
soulmates who also happen to be juggalos.
Crummy pussy killer Ross.
Powerful experience.
Being together felt right, even after the peyote wore off.
It really doesn't matter what we're doing, whether it be snorting bath salts in the
She just gets me. She's not afraid to flash a bunch of strangers for cash from a local friend. It is so refreshing to find someone who can drink
Big
all
money
day
hustle,
starting at
sexy
6
dead
so
bitch.
much to drive me over to my mom's house to pick up my kids.
The
Juggalo process begins with our insane
Juggalo.
questionnaire to get to know the real you. Then we match you with other Juggalos based on different levels of insane clown posse fan worship. And it's crazy how much we have in common. We're like the same Juggalo.
Oh my god.
Boy, stomping fake ass Juffalos, and he doesn't front. Neither of us fronts.
I can't remember the last time I fronted.
On our first date.
Dancing?
We did. We went dancing. Then he took a man's life for disrespecting me.
No substitute for true competitor. That's why Juggalo is rated #1 among Juggalo-themed dating sites. Knowing that I'm with someone that's down with the clown, literally the exact same amount that I'm down with the clown.
Oh my god.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they
Log on to review your matches and find out what true compatibility feels like today.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Woo woo.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh man.
Now you know what a Juggalo is, Jay.
Fuck ICP.
Oh, God. Oh.
Nigger is stain on this world.
How do you feel about the Juggalos now, Jay?
I don't want to live anymore. Holy shit.
I don't want to live in a world filled with juggalos either.
So that's been our tangent, everybody. We have talked from people shooting themselves and blaming black people, Jamel Hill versus Donald Trump, Ryan and I getting awkwardly into religion, end of the days, everybody, Kid Rock, and also introducing Jay to a Juggalo.
Kid Rock versus Kanye 2020. Who you going with?
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, also, do not forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Podbean. Also, check out our cool programming, such as the Robro News, Let the Fans Talk, hosted by Ryan Freeman, Science Fiction Affliction, hosted by Jay Oldenkamp, The Ballad of LL Cool J, our YouTube video. And also, don't forget to check out, I can't believe I'm saying this, when John's website comes out, Midwest Wiener with John Diener.
What? Yes.
Jesse Bruce Darris and his crew up at the lakes, who is I'm also calling a traitor. Their Lunchbox podcast. Don't forget to watch and listen to all of our episodes of the Tournament of Blood that are coming out soon. And also, don't forget to like our good friend Luis De Luna's Facebook, Geek_Things, his Twitch, and all of that good stuff, with the links down below. Once again, thank you guys all for listening. Please don't send me any more hate about me not liking PewDiePie.